everyone, I'm Carolyn Pettit, and I'm joined right now by Laura Parker. Laura, hi. So we both just saw the first reveal of Beyond at the Sony press conference.
David Cage's masterpiece.
Wow, you're calling it now.
No, I'm just saying that's probably what he thinks.
Sure.
Of it
Yeah.
right
So it's the new game by David Cage and Quantic Dream. Obviously kind of best known for doing Heavy Rain.
Yeah.
Now, Heavy Rain was a game that I enjoyed the experience tremendously when I was playing it. I was so engaged in it moment to moment, but afterwards, kind of looking back on it, a lot of it just sort of fell apart for me in terms of the story.
Yeah.
Now, so Beyond, okay. The first thing that they make a big deal out of is that Ellen Page is playing the main character.
And you know, she's cute, and she's been nominated for
she's a fine actress. I mean, the big question in my mind, which we certainly didn't get any answers to today and won't know until we can actually play the game, is like, will the story, for me, will it actually make sense? Will it be cohesive? Will it be engaging?
Yeah.
And to me, I feel like because it's not rooted so much in trying to be realistic in any way, it's got this supernatural element, maybe that stuff won't matter so much.
So I think that maybe perhaps David Cage and Quantic Dream maybe took on board some of the criticisms of Heavy Rain. So like, I'm like you, I really enjoyed Heavy Rain. Again, if I were to look at it really closely, I probably could unpick the story, and there were giant plot holes, but I chose not to because I really loved the experience, and at the time I hadn't really played a game like that before, and so that it really stayed with me, and so I was really excited to see what David Cage would come up with next. So, but as you say, if this is in the supernatural realm, perhaps that's a way to, maybe he's worked out that he's not so good with linear storytelling.
Right, exactly.
So perhaps this is his way to kind of get across that, and so if stuff doesn't make sense, then it's because nothing makes sense.
Right.
So,
yeah.
Whatever.
So didn't make sense, but didn't make sense, but maybe isn't supposed to make sense to us right away. So, so the premise, as far as we know, is that they dropped the name of the main character so many times, and I've forgotten. I'm blanking on it right now. But
Judy Holmes.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so she has this kind of spirit companion, maybe, that she has always sensed with her,
like a spirit guide.
Right. And unfortunately, we didn't see a whole lot of gameplay during the first several minutes of the demo. Just a lot of mood setting, a lot of this interaction with this cop, and then there's this moment where a cup of coffee kind of levitates and then just flies against the wall and shatters. And that cop took that way more in stride.
He took it really well.
Like, if that had been me, he's like, okay, cool. I'm just gonna go outside. Yeah,
that's cool.
So,
but I thought that was really interesting. Firstly, because Sony chose to open their massive press conference with such a very atmospheric and intimate and very slow, very, very slow. Yeah. And the demo lasted for a good 4 or 5 minutes, and there was nothing happening.
Right, which was kind of a relief in this cacophony of bombastic, explosive demos. Yeah. Nice to just soak in the atmosphere.
And then the SWAT team came in. But, and I thought, oh God, it's all good. It's all downhill from here. But no, they took it slower. But I guess a lot of people were complaining about the fact that we saw a lot of the setup and a lot of cutscenes and stuff, but we didn't actually see any gameplay. Yeah. So how do you think this is going to play out? Is it going to be? Are we going to see the same thing in Heavy Rain with a lot of QuickTime sequences and pressing X to?
At this point, I'm going to guess that yes, we are. I think we'll. I can't think of exactly what they'll be, but I imagine there will be a few new wrinkles in the gameplay. Maybe you'll occasionally, look down the barrel of a gun and do some actual shooting or what have you. But I'm expecting, for the most part, that same kind of cinematic.
From the brief gameplay trailer that we saw, it looks very more action-orientated than Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain was all about, I guess, setting the mood and kind of being very slow-paced and a lot of kind of psychological kind of freak-outs. Yeah. Whereas this actually looks like, she's just going to shoot up dudes.
Yeah, yeah. So a lot of questions yet to be answered, but definitely we're both looking forward to seeing a lot more of Beyond.